peace is the base. So when you are grief stricken, anything which we call the shoka, moha, sandeh, brahm, these people, that deep undue attachment, deep doubt, and deep illusion, all I have qualified by deepness. Howsoever low one person may be in his life, the person has the potential to reach the highest. This is what we are saying. Now you are seeing consciousness into yourself. This is how it is. It says, Bhutanam Chetanam Asmi, that among the being borns, I am the consciousness. This is how it is a given. Now you have to turn the coin. Whenever, in whatever phase of history, the knowledge could not be given to all. All the problems which we are facing today are the outcome of that.
From the previous satsangs only. So one was where Ganesh had asked about Kriya. So I was just thinking about my experience. So I like doing Kriya, and means I felt very good. I feel that chill air in my head, and many a times I go into meditation also. But still, I'm not able to do it first thing in the morning, because when I sit in the morning, I don't want to give any effort. I just want to sit. Means it's a practice. So after that, then I don't get an opportunity to do Kriya. So is it okay?
Okay, when you find time and opportunity to do that, then you do. Simple.
Okay.
Everything is need based, it is supporting. So whenever you have time and need, then you do it. It's okay. Because the purpose is to enhance one's efforts. That's what. If it is happening without that, fine. If you feel the need, then do it when you have time. Yeah.
There is one particular case I have this dislike, but I don't know what is causing it, because I've hardly had interactions with that person. So is it something which is being carried from the previous birth? Means I am not able to reason out on my own.
Whatever it is, more and more clear we keep becoming about ourselves, that what is it within us that attracts that dislike. So if we remove that thing from our own being, then it recedes back, and the impact will be less and less. And when something is not making impact, and then people slowly forget about it and they move on. That's how karma bandha or rinanubandha are broken. So first we remove something which is not good from our own. Still, while removing something will be left. Something doesn't go just like a snatch. Anything you want to leave, some impression will be left. But slowly, when you are making effort by knowing it, see, knowing is important. When you are knowing something that this you should do, and then you do with that intention and that intensity, then impact will be there. At least you will be impacted, and that is important. So gradually, when that starts happening, then that thing will go from the other person also.
Okay, here, Guruji, I'm not able to understand that. How do I find out what is attracting this dislike? So like, only thing I can think of is our cleaning, where you say without seeing, just broom.
No, no, disliking something in itself is not good. So know this much only.
Okay.
That's not. Why should somebody dislike something? So if we are immersed in liking something good, there will be no space for disliking anything. Otherwise, you keep doing research in it, and that's the wrong direction research. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah,
I
Ganesh.
have a question. So,
Yeah.
it's my practical experience also, which I want to ask if that is correct. when mind is immersed in very deep grief and it feels like there is no hopes of coming out of it, then some sort of a peace also prevails that okay, there is nothing more than this that I can do. And so it is like a peace also accompanies with the deep grief. And same way, some sort of a peace also accompanies in the happiness. So what is that? How can the peace be with grief, or am I misinterpreting something?
See, peace is the base. So when you are grief stricken, anything which we call the shoka moha sandeh brahm, these people, that this deep distress, deep undue attachment, deep doubt, and deep illusion, all I have qualified by deepness, depth. So these all are to be removed from our person. So as you well said, that when you go deep into it, so and even if it is grief, more than the grief, deepness becomes the thing, that you are going deeper. So since you are attached to a path and attached to a guru, so if you remember that, then whatever this grief can do negatively to you, you will be untouched by that kind of depression and other things. Others also, when they are into grief, stricken by grief, but their chances are that they may move towards suicidal tendencies and such other things, because they are not nestled in somewhere, they are not attached to someone who is giving them the clarity that this is not the part, so not the way to go. So here this has to be understood very clearly, that whether you are in grief or whether you are in pleasure, when you are deep into anything, then you are being deep becomes prominent and grief or pleasure becomes secondary. But if we are not aware, then we are deluded by pleasure or grief. But since we are attached and moving on a spiritual path, then we are connected towards the depth. And in depth, anywhere you go, the peace will be there, because the base is the peace. So it is not that along with the grief or pleasure the peace is going on. It is beyond that the peace is there. But when anything becomes deeper, it starts touching that peace. If we are rightly going, if we take a wrong turn, then the peace is lost and we are deluded by grief or the pleasure. So then there is trouble. Then our consciousness moves in a wrong trajectory. If we have reached to that peace, that means now we are closer to the solution, because then we will find our dots very clearly, that these are the things which have led to this grief, and this is temporary, it is not permanent, and this is how it comes into being. So in peace you become the solution. That is the nature of the thing. When you are at the deepest peace, then you become the total solution of everything. That is what spirituality is telling. That there are people say, what are the problems? Look, when we are sitting here, all of us, I say, what is your question? There are hardly any question. Like that in the world, questions are not plenty, solutions are plenty, but mostly people are not going deep. So when little deep they go, they see so many questions. Otherwise the life is moving on the surface. So it is not that with grief and pleasure seeking the peace is moving. It is with the depth that the peace is there. So that is how you should look at it. And when you experience, now observe, because you have been observing, when we become little deep, then whatever it be it pleasure or grief, we become automatically the observer of it, if we have gone deep into it. That is the nature of our being, which is this There is no extra effort is needed. Extra effort is needed in what? That we don't go wrong. We do not take to the wrong path or a wrong trajectory. We stay on the right path. Then suddenly you start, whatever be the situation, happiness will spring out of that. That is how, as we say in Yaksh Prashna's story, that when Yaksh asks Yudhishthir what is inevitable, means which cannot be avoided, he says happiness. Now, if you tell a grief-stricken person that how come happiness be inevitable, I am totally deep into problem. But deeper you go, you meet the peace, then you become the solution, and there is happiness, because that is the reality. So all the things which are around, they are connected to our mortality, and we do not see when we are grief stricken that we are essentially immortal being. For whom, suppose there is a relation, your brother or sister or anybody is in problem, not you, but you feel that because of them you become grief stricken. Why they are in problem? Because you are connecting yourself to a mortal relationship. And there is a limitation of that. You are not connecting them to the relationship you really are into. Then there will not be an issue. Then the peace will come. Because if you go, then if you have solution, they will not accept it. You can experiment it. If you go by any other relationship and you have a solution for their problem, they will not accept it. See it, I'm telling openly. Because they are not connected with that relationship. They have only a brotherly or sisterly or father motherly, whatever worldly relation is there. They will see from that pipe only, that lens only. And that lens has a limitation. You are also like that, and they are also like that in that relationship. So this is how it is. It is the peace which is the base of everything. That is why you feel peace.
Peace is the base. Above that, the remaining things like happiness, grief, sadness, or all the other things are like vertical things aligned on the base, which is the peace. So through any of these, when we go inside, we see that. That is my understanding.
Yes, yes. That's it.
And, you said one thing, that solution, you become solution. I don't become solution, but somehow that gets solved. That is what I see. I don't be the solution.
No, because why you are saying so is that's the answer I have given you, that you are seeing it through the prism of relationships. That is why you do not see that you have become the solution. If those prisms of worldly relationships are not there, then you will change your statement and you will feel that yes, you are the solution. As I said, no, the people will not accept the solution. If you tell them with any relationship, father, daughter, teacher, anything, because the prism is of that relationship. So they are not accepting, so you do not feel like solution. If they all accept, then there you will feel that there was no problem at all. So it is humility, but there should be clarity also. If I do not say that, then that will not be correct. The solution we become, but because of the limitedness of the prisms, we feel like the way you are feeling or saying. There is, you name any, you do the research, and there will be some boundary. If this is not there, then you are not on this path. While here we say there is no such boundary. Any path you say, they devise some or the other boundary. If there are rules, regulations, and everything you say, but here we do not devise any such. We say only look at our things. How are we saying? Everything is in tune with nature. The first thing is you wake up before sun rises. Then you do your exercise, meditation, exercise. Everything is going, not expecting anything from others, accepting everything, being one in word, mind, deed. So what we have done is, what is being in tune with nature, that only we have taken. So if you have any, because the question has to be very specific, that which path you are saying. I do not see any which do not have one or the other condition. Here we have gone to such an extent that from Guru's side all are initiated. Only they have to recognize it. There is no boundary even in initiation. Only they have to come and acknowledge. So nobody is outside of this. There somebody says no, so even take the why you take the three big religions. Religion says if you are not doing this and this, then you are not our part. If you are not saying that someone who is not even present is not your ideal, then you are not part of that. We do not name for the reasons of that so many are offended. But everybody understands what I am saying. So everywhere some condition is there, and which is not conducive to life. If you have to follow, so most of the people, if you a large chunk of the world population is going like this. So how this is the situation of the big ones. What about the small ones? They are doing something somehow to survive, and therefore there are rules and regulations they have made. But we have kept everything free for all. No boundary. What your past has been, how you are, from where you are coming. Follow simple rules which are in tune with nature. And if you see those clearly, then you find that there are no rules even. They are simply how to live kind of things, just to make some sense of your everyday life. And how small thing we have given only 24 hours, because in 24 hours one cycle is complete. You can totally transform yourself within 24 hours. That is also there. Because if you are really determined, then all one cycle is all that you need maximum to observe yourself, that where the change is needed, you do it. So such is our system, which is nothing but the system of the human being of the present time. What is its potential? How high it can go from the lowest ebb. Howsoever low one person may be in his life, a person has the potential to reach the highest. This is what we are saying. Somebody has something or the other to restrict. We do not have any restriction. So instead of saying who has what, it will take eons, and it will create unnecessary acrimony. So we say what we have. See, that will be again, see, positives and negatives. If you start saying negatives, unnecessarily you will have to roll yourself into that. So better say positive things, what you have. That do this, then others you will not have time. Simple understandable idea is this, that if you are doing something good, you do not have time to do something which is not good, because you are engaged in something good. Something such good which is not against anyone. Nobody in this world can say that this is against me. There is nothing in Sahaj Smriti Yoga that even one person in this whole world can say that this is against me. Because we are not against anything. We are accommodating everything. What is good? That is how we say that this is the future. And now when then it starts going into the words and round and around, because we say there is no future, there is always present only. So call it future or call it past or call it present. That is all we have. The more your eyes are open, and then you start seeing how it is operating. That is where we say we have a great responsibility and to fulfill. And we cannot hand it over to anybody. We have to do it ourselves. Responsibilities are like that. We have to execute those ourselves. Do that. It's your whole our being which goes. Krishna says it's very beautifully long. एवं प्रवर्तितम चक्रम न अनुवर्ति यति यह अघायु इंद्रिय आरामो मोहम पार्थ सजीवति. The chakra, the way it is going, if somebody is not doing according to that, then he says mogam, he is living very limited life. Mogam parth sajit, bekar mein, there's no value in that life. So what is that chakra? That how this life is running. That is the whole chakra. In that one thing is important, what is yagna? Yagna is the knowledge, what you have come to know is real, doing that is yagna. Nothing else, just this much. And then you empower that chakra, that whole system. And that is how it is. So I always say that you are four things: avastha, vyavastha, vyaktitva and krititva. The state of being, the system, the creative part of it, and the expression. All these four things you are. So some people are focused primarily on vyavastha, that they are system. Some are focused on avastha, some are focused on expression, some are focused on creation. But the order is this: avastha, vyavastha, vyaktitva and krititva. So if this is going like this, then everything goes the way it should go. And then the peace becomes inevitable. Because the struggle is until you do not see yourself into consciousness. Now you are seeing consciousness into yourself. This is how it is. He says, Bhutanam Chetanam Asmi, that among the being borns, I am the consciousness. This is how it is a given. Now you have to turn the coin. This is a given situation. You have not done anything for this. This automatically came to you. The moment you are born, you came with consciousness. Now you have to do something and change the coin, that you become into consciousness. Then you become very light. So long, otherwise there is a struggle. So long as you are seeing that no, there should be consciousness of this into that, there will be struggle. Once you see from the other side, then you are free. Because that is same in everywhere. Consciousness. So if we become like that, no, otherwise there is an issue. So world is struggling with that. So once they reach to the right, how the knowledge comes, how it is established, how it functions, that priority becomes clear to them. It may take time, but there is no other way. It has to happen. People will go only that way, the way it has been. Some personal changes we are seeing. We see, if you compare the world 10 years back and you compare now, how fast messaging is happening across the globe. People are coming to us. What is your problem becomes another's problem. You have to fight with the same questions. And you are becoming more and more interconnected. It is coming, but the only thing is these redundant things, how to remove them. So we say education, education and education. Right education, right proportion education, everywhere right education. Then only it will go. Because otherwise there is so much clash in the values. Wherever I am saying, people are in this thing, confusion, this way or that way. And if we make much more clear, then also, if they cannot take the stand, then also that becomes problem. So they have to be prepared to take the step, and that comes through education, because all are having same values, same consciousness. then social stigma is over. You do some things certain way, another person does in certain another way. Now there is struggle everywhere, in media, in society, in law, in parliament, everywhere, this way or that way. If education is same, then there will be no issue. They will say, no, this way only, because all will agree that way. Until some new knowledge unfolds, and that again will be for all, because knowledge means for all. Knowledge doesn't mean for 1 or 2%, it means for all. Whenever, in whatever phase of history, the knowledge could not be given to all. All the problems which we are facing today are the outcome of that. You take race, caste, any issue, gender, any issue. This is just because at some point in time in history, true knowledge could not be maximized. It did not reach to all. So some people start moving this way, some certain moving that way, and it went like that. Then it turned out to be a struggle for them. So always solution has been through education, and problem has been due to lack of education. That you did not. Some people, then it creates much more. No, they say at that period of time you knew all this. Array, you knew all this, but how many? Very few. Now also, in current situation, how many in that way if are attained to the higher knowledge and practice that? But the thing is, now the radius is increasing compared to any previous era. It is increasing. More and more people are looking towards knowledge, and they want to be truthful and right, that what is doable in life, because they are realizing its true face. As we say, no, I keep quoting this example quite often these days, so that it stays with people, that now even physicists have proved that there is no such thing as universe. Neither you are listening to spiritual people, nor you are listening to scientists. Then who are you listening to? Your senses only. And then enjoy. What can be done? So knowledge is coming from all the sides now. That's what I am saying. Even material sciences have start proving the same points which spiritual people already told, that this is how the world is. But it requires continuous sadhana. See, what happens is, you go to any place or somewhere, if you are in the company of saints or spiritual people, some of the other things keep happening which are otherworldly in nature. Sometimes we notice them. Then what happens is, many turn what is the andhavishwas for that. Some superstition they begin to attach with it. That should not be the case. I have recently visited some places and I see, okay, things are happening there, good, but what happens is some kind of superstition is also attached, and people start doing some magical things. Now that gives a bad name, and that diverts people attention, because this is so immediate thing happening. So the real thing is lost. Somebody has done some sadhana, and because of that certain things are happening good to people. Their consciousness is, but others are there around, they don't understand, this happens here, and then they turn into some magic or something or some other thing. That's why sadhana is needed. Such a good thing you can transform into negative thing. And that's how people get bad name. No, so this is duty of the ones, and equally the duty of the ones who go there. Do we stay there? They should tell, this is how it is, very clearly. No, don't do this and malign this place by doing all this stuff. Please do your sadhana, come and go there. That's fine. That is how a good world is created. It is our own creation. How we become that, only we create. And there is nowhere. Thing is that all are gradually knowing that it is all boils down to oneself. But still, So what is that? That is still word I am referring to, that they somehow struggle with the world, cannot accept that they are alone, not negatively, positively. So that means their doing matters, and if they are doing it right, then all others will also feel good, because they are also this only weakness which creates such situations. So trust yourself, very be confident of your doings and be observant, and then you will, as the Ganesh said in the beginning, there is this deep beneath, there is peace. If we become clear, then we see that this is beneath everything. It's not along with that, it is beneath that. Peace is the base. So much so that you accommodate the whole world within you, and still you are not disturbed.